Thanks for joining us tonight. We are just hours away from the start of a vote that could have a big impact on our state. Starting tomorrow morning, hundreds of Hormel meat packers at the Austin, Minnesota plant will vote on a new contract. The vote could set the stage for an eventual strike, something the city went through in the 80s.
Jennifer Hoff shows us what happened back then and what workers are demanding now.
Some 100 miles south of Minneapolis sits a town steeped in history.
Right, yeah.
One for the books Dale Chidester helped write.
Oh, this town? Well, this town was a one-horse town. Hormel.
Founded in Austin, the more than 130-year-old meatpacking plant would become one of the biggest, at one point processing 1 million hogs every year.
Back then, that was, everybody's dream was, work at Hormel because you could make money.
Chidester would start working at the company's plant in Iowa 45 years ago, before working here.
They say get back, we say fight back.
Just a couple years after what was called the strike of the decade. A strike that in 1985 tore a community apart and made national headlines that Chidester still thinks was worth it.
Because that was the first time in the meat packers that somebody said no.
Standing up against wage and benefit cuts, the union fought for nearly a year. The National Guard even called in to curb the violence when strike breakers crossed the picket lines. Eventually, though, Hormel hired new workers, mostly immigrant men, ushering in a new era for labor.
So the workforce has really changed. What hasn't changed is that the work itself is brutally physical and demanding.
Professor Peter Ratcliffe studied the strike extensively, saying empowered workers are striking more now than in the past 2 decades. The workers marching on Labor Day want higher wages and pensions after they say Hormel made record profits, some $2 billion in the past 12 months. But now, without a contract, it's anyone's guess where they might go next.
They'll come back and they'll talk again. Hormel doesn't want another strike.
The workers will be voting on Hormel's contract tomorrow and Thursday. The union saying you can expect results sometime on Friday, and only then will the union decide what its next steps might be. Hormel says that it remains optimistic that it will reach an agreement. In Austin, Jennifer Hoff, KARE 11 News.